Question 1. On which date is Gujarat Foundation Day, also known as Gujarat Sthapna Divas, observed? Correct answer, 1 May. Question 2. Who has been appointed as the head of the revamped National Security Advisory Board, NSAB? Correct answer, Alok Joshi. Question 3. Which company announced a $500 billion investment to establish AI chip manufacturing in the United States? Correct answer, Nvidia. Question 4. Who relinquished the post of Chief of Integrated Defense Staff on April 30 upon superannuation? Correct answer, Lieutenant General J.P. Matthew. Question 5. What is the primary objective of the government's upcoming Depot Darpan portal? Correct answer, enhance food security. Question 6. What was the new national record time set in the men's 4x100 meters relay at the second Indian Open relay competition? Correct answer, 38.69 seconds. Question 7. Which company signed in MoU with the Ministry of Labour or Employment to boost employment through the National Career Service Portal? Correct answer, Rapido. Question 8. In which city was the Indian Institute of Creative Technology, IICT, launched during the WAVES 2025 event? Correct answer, Mumbai. Question 9. On which date is International Labour Day, also known as May Day, celebrated annually? Correct answer, May 8. Question 10. Which country signed an economic partnership agreement with the United States granting access to its rare earth minerals? Correct answer, Ukraine. Question 11. On which expressway did the Indian Air Force recently conduct a fly-past and landing exercise involving Rafale, Jaguar, and Mirage aircraft? Correct answer, Ganga Expressway. Question 12. How many years since the end of the Vietnam War did Vietnam commemorate in 2025? Correct answer, 50 years. Question 13. In which city were 400 Delhi Electric Vehicle Interconnector Service, Devi, electric buses flagged off to enhance last-mile connectivity? Correct answer, New Delhi. Question 14. What was India's overall rank at the inaugural Asian U15 or U17 boxing championships held in Amman, Jordan? Correct answer, 3rd. Question 15. On which date is World Tuna Day observed annually? Correct answer, May 2. Question 16. Which Indian state launched the country's first AI-powered real-time forest alert system? Correct answer, Madhya Pradesh. Question 17. Where were the BRSCOPS 2025 held, where India took a leading role in advocating for stronger global action on chemicals and waste? Correct answer, Geneva, Switzerland. Question 18. In which city was the Yoga Mahotsav 2025 held to mark the 50-day countdown to the International Day of Yoga? Correct answer, Nashik. Question 19. What is India's rank in the 2025 World Press Freedom Index? Correct answer, 151. Question 20. Which country signed a renewed Memorandum of Understanding with India to strengthen cooperation in clean and sustainable energy? Correct answer, Denmark. Question 21. Who recently assumed charge as a member of the Union Public Service Commission, UPSC? Correct answer, Anuradha Prasad. Question 22. Which Central Armed Police Force achieved the first ever CAPF ascent of Mount Maklu? Correct answer, Indo-Tibetan Border Police. Question 23. On which date is World Press Freedom Day observed annually? Correct answer, May 3. Question 24. In which state was the Khelo India Multipurpose Hall inaugurated by Dr. Mansukh Mandaviya? Correct answer, Arunachal Pradesh. Question 25. At which location did Indian Ocean ship Sagar arrive during its operational deployment in the Southwest Indian Ocean region? Correct answer, Seychelles. Question 26. By what percentage did India's non-petroleum exports grow in the financial year 2024-25 compared to the previous year? Correct answer, 6%. Question 27. In which city will President Draupadi Murmu inaugurate the first National Mediation Conference? Correct answer, New Delhi. Question 28. Which company has partnered with Kuwait's Jazeera Airways for an AI-led digital transformation initiative? Correct answer, TCS. Question 29. Which company partnered with the Indian Army's Madras Regimental Centre for a 5-day rally across Tamil Nadu to honour veterans and Veer Naris? Correct answer, Ultraviolet. Question 30. Which institution secured the second position nationwide for implementing a paperless and queue-less OPD registration system under the Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission? Correct answer, AIIMS Bhopal. Question 31. Which bank has partnered with the Land Ports Authority of India to provide modern banking services at 26 land ports across the country? Correct answer, State Bank of India. Question 32. Who has recently joined the World Bank's Private Sector Investment Lab to promote job creation in developing countries? Correct answer, Sunil Bharti Mittal. Question 33. In which country's trench is the Emden Deep, the world's third deepest point, located? Correct answer, Philippines. Question 34. Which country played a crucial role in completing the main magnet system of the ITER nuclear fusion project by contributing to the cryostat and related infrastructure? Correct answer, India. Question 35. Which inland water body is projected to drop by up to 21 meters by 2100 due to climate-driven evaporation, threatening biodiversity and regional stability? Correct answer, Caspian Sea. Question 36. Who has recently been appointed as the Vice Chief of the Air Staff of the Indian Air Force as of May 2, 2025? Correct answer, Air Marshal Narmadeshwar Tiwari. Question 37. Which country is hosting the Global Media Dialogue, GMD, during the WAVES 2025 event to promote international cooperation in the media sector? Correct answer, India. Question 38. Which organization brokered the Indus Waters Treaty, IWT, of 1960 between India and Pakistan? Correct answer, World Bank. Question 39. Which insecticide did India oppose banning under the Stockholm Convention during the 2025 BRS conventions in Geneva? Correct answer, Clopyrifos. Question 40. Which Indian state has signed MOUs with UK and Australian universities to set up international university campuses? Correct answer, Maharashtra. Question 41. Which Indian state is set to host the 72nd edition of the Miss World pageant from May 10 to 31? Correct answer, Telangana. Question 42. Which state has launched the Mahila Samvad campaign to reach 2 crore women? Correct answer, Bihar. Question 43. Which organization successfully conducted the maiden flight trials of the stratospheric airship platform in Madhya Pradesh? Correct answer, DRDO. Question 44. Which company has partnered with TCS to build India's largest quantum computing hub? Correct answer, IBM. Question 45. Which Indian state has proposed the Lekkundi monuments for UNESCO's World Heritage Tentative List? Correct answer, Karnataka. Question 46. Which Indian state launched the Film Tourism Policy 2025 and AVGCXR Policy 2025 during the Digital Dreams or Cinematic Visions session at WAVES 2025? Correct answer, Madhya Pradesh. Question 47. Who has won a second consecutive term as Prime Minister of Australia? Correct answer, Anthony Albanese. Question 48. Which Indian state is set to develop India's first transmedia entertainment city? Correct answer, Andhra Pradesh. Question 49. Which Indian state has become the first to introduce a dedicated policy for shipbuilding, ship repair, and ship recycling? Correct answer, Maharashtra. Question 50. Which railway zone has partnered with Chhota Bheem to promote railway safety and raise public awareness? Correct answer, Western Railway. Question 1. What is the new auto settlement limit for advance claims set by the EPFO? Correct answer, 5 lakh. Question 2. Which state has mandated daily news reading sessions in government schools? Correct answer, Himachal Pradesh. Question 3. Jahnavi Danshti is associated with which space mission? Correct answer, Titan Space Mission. Question 4. Which country, visited by PM Modi on June 18, 2025, marked the first ever visit by an Indian Prime Minister, aiming to strengthen ties in defense and technology? Correct answer, Croatia. Question 5. What is the role of Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla in the Axiom 4 mission to the International Space Station? Correct answer, Mission Pilot. Question 6. Which organizations are primarily responsible for operating the Axiom 4 mission to the International Space Station in 2025? Correct answer, Axiom Space, NASA and SpaceX. Question 7. When and where was the 2025 NATO summit held? Correct answer, June 24 and 25 in The Hague, Netherlands. Question 8. What was the primary focus of the 2025 NATO summit? Correct answer, increasing defense spending and supporting Ukraine. Question 9. When and where was the 2025 SCO Defense Ministers meeting held? Correct answer, June 25 to 26, 2025, in Qingdao, China. Question 10. Who was appointed as the chairman of the Economic Advisory Council to Prime Minister Narendra Modi in June 2025? Correct answer, S. Mahendra Dev. Question 11. Which state in India became the first to implement Android mobile-based e-voting for municipal by-elections in 2025? Correct answer, Bihar. Question 12. What was the primary theme of the Madhya Pradesh RISE 2025 conclave held in Ratlam? Correct answer, successful entrepreneurs, prosperous industries, inclusive growth. Question 13. What is observed on June 26 each year to raise awareness about global drug issues? Correct answer, International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking. Question 14. In which country was the G7 summit held in June 2025, attended by Prime Minister Narendra Modi? Correct answer, Canada. Question 15. Which international organization reported damage to Iran's underground nuclear site due to Israeli strikes in June 2025? Correct answer, International Atomic Energy Agency. Question 16. What was the approximate insurance claim amount triggered by the Air India plane crash in Ahmedabad in 2025? Correct answer, 39.4 billion rupees. Question 17. What significant advancement in HIV prevention was recently approved by US regulators in June 2025? Correct answer, a twice-a-year HIV prevention injection. Question 18. Who was appointed as the Chief of India's Research and Analysis Wing, R&AW, on June 28, 2025, with a tenure starting July 1, 2025? Correct answer, Parag Jain. Question 19. During the Jagannath Rath Yatra in Puri, Orissa, in June 2025, a tragic incident occurred. What was the primary consequence reported? Correct answer, over 500 devotees were injured in a stampede. Question 20. What was the theme of National Statistics Day 2025 in India? Correct answer, 75 years of National Sample Survey. Question 21. What is celebrated annually in India on June 29? Correct answer, National Statistics Day. Question 22. Which countries did India defeat to sweep all 3 gold medals at the 2nd Asian Squash Doubles Championships 2025? Correct answer, Pakistan and Malaysia. Question 23. Which event did Neeraj Chopra win at the Ostrava Golden Spike 2025? Correct answer, javelin throw. Question 24. What was Neeraj Chopra's winning throw distance in the 2025 Ostrava event? Correct answer, 85.29 meters. Question 25. MSME Day is observed annually on which date? Correct answer, June 27th. Question 26. Which city in India will host the 2029 World Police and Fire Games? Correct answer, Ahmedabad. Question 27. What is observed on June 26 each year to raise awareness about global drug issues? Correct answer, International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking. Question 28. What was the primary theme of the Madhya Pradesh RISE 2025 conclave held in Ratlam? Correct answer, successful entrepreneurs, prosperous industries, inclusive growth. Question 29. When and where was the 2025 NATO summit held? Correct answer, June 24 to 25, 2025, in The Hague, Netherlands. Question 30. What was a key focus of the NATO summit held in The Hague on June 24 to 25, 2025? Correct answer, increasing defense spending to 5% of GDP for member countries. Question 31. Which institutions collaborated with India Post to develop the DIGIPIN system? Correct answer, IIT Hyderabad and National Remote Sensing Center, NRSC. Question 32. What does DIGIPIN stand for in the context of India Post's new digital addressing system? Correct answer, Digital Postal Index Number. Question 33. What is the total length of the Udhampur-Srinagar-Baramulla Rail Link, USBRL, project, which aims to provide all-weather rail connectivity between the Kashmir Valley and the rest of India? Correct answer, 272 kilometers. Question 34. Which bridge, described as India's first cable-stayed rail bridge, highlights engineering prowess in challenging terrain? Correct answer, NG Bridge. Question 35. What is the height of the Chenab rail bridge above the river, making it the world's highest railway arch bridge? Correct answer, 359 meters. Question 36. What was the name of the Israeli operation targeting Iran's nuclear and military facilities? Correct answer, Operation Rising Lion. Question 37. What was India's rank in the 2025 Global Peace Index out of 163 countries? Correct answer, 115th. Question 38. Where is the Strait of Hormuz located? Correct answer, between Persian Gulf or Gulf of Oman. Question 39. Why is the Strait of Hormuz a critical global choke point? Correct answer, major route for oil or gas shipping. Question 40. Which Indian business school topped the QS MBA rankings 2025 for India? Correct answer, IIM Bangalore. Question 41. How many people participated in the Yoga Day event that set the Guinness World Record in Visakhapatnam? Correct answer, 302,087. Question 42. What is the theme of International Yoga Day celebrated on June 21, 2025? Correct answer, Yoga for One Earth, One Health. Question 43. Who was the runner-up to Neeraj Chopra in the Paris Diamond League on June 20, 2025? Correct answer, Julian Weber. Question 44. What was the primary objective of India's Operation Sindhu launched in June 2025? Correct answer, to evacuate Indian nationals from conflict zones in Iran. Question 45. What is the key feature of the FASTag annual pass announced by Union Minister Nitin Gadkari for private vehicles in India? Correct answer, 3,000 rupees pass valid for 200 trips a 1 year. Question 1. Which country's container vessel, MSC Elsa 3, was involved in the plastic noodle spill incident off the coast of Thiruvananthapuram, Kerala? Correct answer, Liberia. Question 2. Which article of the Indian Constitution mandates the election of the Deputy Speaker of the Lok Sabha? Correct answer, Article 93. Question 3. What disease is associated with TR1 cells playing a dominant role in fighting reinfections? Correct answer, malaria. Question 4. Which international organization introduced the Silver Notice system to help trace and recover criminal assets and enhance international police cooperation? Correct answer, Interpol. Question 5. Which regulatory body introduced a new delta-based framework for monitoring risk in the futures or options (F&O) market? Correct answer, SEBI. Question 6. Which Indian state has requested the Union government to restrict mountaineering on Mount Kanchanjunga due to its religious significance? Correct answer, Sikkim. Question 7. Which judicial body ruled that former US President Donald Trump exceeded his authority under the IEEPA in imposing certain import tariffs? Correct answer, Court of International Trade. Question 8. Which country launched the TIANWEN-2 spacecraft to explore asteroid 2016 Ho-3 and Comet 311P? Correct answer, China. Question 9. Under which article of the WHO Constitution was the world's first global pandemic agreement adopted? Correct answer, Article 19. Question 10. What was the growth rate of the Index of Industrial Production, IIP, in April 2025, marking an 8-month low? Correct answer, 2.7%. Q11. Which Indian state recently amended the COTPA Act to raise the legal tobacco purchase age and ban hookah bars? Correct answer, Karnataka. Question 12. In which city was South Asia's largest utility-scale battery energy storage system, BESS, inaugurated? Correct answer, New Delhi. Question 13. In which city did Union Minister Amit Shah inaugurate the new Central Forensic Science Laboratory? Correct answer, Kolkata. Question 14. Who has been appointed as the 18th Commander-in-Chief of the Andaman or Nicobar Command, CINCAN, in June 2025? Correct answer, Lieutenant General Dinesh Singh Rana. Question 15. Where is India's first Artificial Intelligence Special Economic Zone, AISEZ, being established? Correct answer, Nava Raipur. Question 16. Who defeated world chess champion Magnus Carlsen in a classical game at Norway Chess 2025? Correct answer, D. Gukesh. Question 17. What position did India secure in the medal tally at the Asian Athletics Championships 2025 held in Gumi, South Korea? Correct answer, second. Question 18. Who have been appointed as the new MD or source of Union Bank of India and Central Bank of India, respectively? Correct answer, Ashish Pandey and Kalyan Kumar. Question 19. Which Indian state was formed on June 2, 2014, marking its separation from Andhra Pradesh? Correct answer, Telangana. Question 20. What is the primary focus of India's newly launched Daruva policy? Correct answer, digital address infrastructure. Question 21. By what percentage did India's GST collections increase in May 2025 compared to May 2024? Correct answer, 16.4%. Question 22. Which public sector bank recently removed the minimum balance requirement for all its savings accounts? Correct answer, Canara Bank. Question 23. Who has been appointed as the new CEO of Deutsche Bank's India-based Global Capability Center in 2025? Correct answer, Stefan Schaffer. Question 24. Which institution projected India's household net financial savings to reach 22 lakh rupees crore in financial year 2024-25? Correct answer, SBI Bank. Question 25. In which city did the Minister of State for Defence announce the expansion of NCC by 3 lakh cadets? Correct answer, Bhopal. Question 26. Who won Poland's presidential runoff election recently? Correct answer, Karol Nawrocki. Question 27. On which date is World Bicycle Day observed every year? Correct answer, June 3. Question 28. Which country became the world's top creditor nation in 2024, overtaking Japan after 34 years? Correct answer, Germany. Question 29. Who was appointed as the chairman of Tata Chemicals effective May 30, 2025? Correct answer, S. Padmanabhan. Question 30. In which region has 1/3 of the seats been reserved for women in the Hill Development Councils? Correct answer, Ladakh. Question 31. Where is the Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs, ICA, establishing its first regional campus in the Northeast? Correct answer, Shillong. Question 32. Which Indian state approved a 20% police reservation for former Agniveers under the Agnipath scheme in 2025? Correct answer, Uttar Pradesh. Question 33. Which Indian state celebrates its Formation Day on June 2, marking its 11th anniversary in 2025? Correct answer, Telangana. Question 34. How many Indian languages does the Bharat Gen AI model support? Correct answer, 22. Question 35. Which organization launched a $10 billion urban infrastructure plan to transform India's cities? Correct answer, Asian Development Bank. Question 36. Whose portrait has been removed from the new Bangladeshi currency notes? Correct answer, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Question 37. Which team won their maiden IPL title in the 2025 season? Correct answer, Royal Challengers Bengaluru. Question 38. Which country is India collaborating with to build its first ever indigenous polar research vessel, PRV? Correct answer, Norway. Question 39. What percentage of 2000 rupees notes remain in circulation after the RBI's withdrawal drive? Correct answer, 1.74. Question 40. On which date is the International Day of Innocent Children Victims of Aggression observed annually? Correct answer, June 4. Question 41. Which state has announced the introduction of basic military education from class 1? Correct answer, Maharashtra. Question 42. Who has been elected president of the 80th UN General Assembly session? Correct answer, Annalena Baerbock. Question 43. On which date is World Environment Day observed annually? Correct answer, June 5. Question 44. Which Indian state recently had the Khichhan and Manar wetlands added to the Ramsar list of wetlands of international importance? Correct answer, Rajasthan. Question 45. What is Nomura's forecasted GDP growth rate for India in FY26? Correct answer, 6.2%. Question 46. Who is the primary beneficiary of the newly launched C-Cares 2.0 portal? Correct answer, coal workers. Question 47. Which country became the 101st WTO member to formally accept the Agreement on Fisheries Subsidies? Correct answer, Nicaragua. Question 48. Who was sworn in as the 21st President of South Korea, pledging to reopen dialogue with North Korea and maintain a strong alliance with the United States? Correct answer, Lee Jae-myung. Question 49. Which country has been elected to the United Nations Economic and Social Council, ECOSOC, for the term 2026-28? Correct answer, India. Question 50. Which e-commerce firm recently received an NBFC license from the Reserve Bank of India to enter the direct lending space? Correct answer, Flipkart. What is the primary purpose of the Rail One Super app launched by Indian Railways? Correct answer, to consolidate all railway-related services into a single mobile application. Question 2. What is the primary objective of the Employment-Linked Incentive (ILI) scheme approved on July 1, 2025? Correct answer, to create over 3.5 crore jobs within 2 years. Question 3. Who has become the most followed artist on Spotify with over 150 million followers, according to Chartmaster? Correct answer, Arijit Singh. Question 4. Which 4 countries are members of the Quadrilateral Security Dialogue, Quad? Correct answer, United States, India, Japan, Australia. Question 5. Where was the Quad Foreign Ministers meeting held from June 30 to July 2, 2025? Correct answer, Washington, D.C., USA. Question 6. What was one of the key issues condemned by the Quad Foreign Ministers during their 2025 meeting? Correct answer, the April 22, 2025, terrorist attack in Pahalgam, Jammu and Kashmir. Question 7. Which country is set to host the Quad Leaders Summit in 2025? Correct answer, India. Question 8. Which of the following honors was conferred on PM Modi during his visit to Ghana? Correct answer, the Officer of the Order of the Star of Ghana. Question 9. Who is the current President of Ghana as of July 2025? Correct answer, John Dramani Mahama. Question 10. What is the name of the bill that Congress passed on July 3, 2025, marking a significant legislative victory for President Donald Trump? Correct answer, Big Beautiful Bill. Question 11. In which city did Neeraj Chopra win the inaugural NC Classic 2025 Javelin event? Correct answer, Bengaluru. Question 12. What was Neeraj Chopra's winning throw distance at the NC Classic 2025? Correct answer, 86.18 meters. Question 13. What was the primary motivation behind Elon Musk's announcement of the America Party on July 5, 2025? Correct answer, to oppose the One Big Beautiful Bill and address government spending. Question 14. Who was appointed as the CEO of the International Cricket Council, ICC, on July 7, 2025? Correct answer, Sanjay Gupta. Question 15. What was a key focus area discussed at the 17th BRICS Summit in Brazil in July 2025? Correct answer, reform of global governance institutions to represent the Global South. Question 16. Which messaging app, launched by Jack Dorsey, co-founder of Twitter, now X, and CEO of Block, operates without requiring an internet or mobile network connection? Correct answer, BitChat. Question 17. Which of the following awards was conferred upon Prime Minister Narendra Modi by Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva on July 8, 2025? Correct answer, Grand Collar of the National Order of the Southern Cross. Question 18. Which of the following is the highest civilian award conferred upon Prime Minister Narendra Modi by Namibia on July 9, 2025? Correct answer, the Order of the Most Ancient Welwitschia Mirabilis. Question 19. Which company became the first to reach a $4 trillion market capitalization in July 2025, driven by demand for its AI chips? Correct answer, Nvidia. Question 20. When is World Population Day observed every year? Correct answer, July 11th. Question 21. What was the theme of World Population Day 2025, observed on July 11th, as declared by the United Nations? Correct answer, empowering young people to create the families they want in a fair and hopeful world. Question 22. who proposed marking July 11th as World Population Day, inspired by the 5 billion day in 1987 when the world population reached 5 billion? Correct answer, Dr. K.C. Zachariah. Question 23. Which country qualified for the ICC Men's T20 World Cup for the first time in the 2026 edition, to be hosted by India and Sri Lanka? Correct answer, Italy. Question 24. What is the primary role of INS Nista, India's first indigenously designed diving support vessel commissioned in July 2025? Correct answer, deep-sea diving and submarine rescue operations. Q25. According to the World Economic Forum's Global Gender Gap Report 2025, what is India's rank out of 148 countries, and which dimension shows the lowest gender parity score for India? Correct answer, 131st, Economic Participation and Opportunity. Q26. What is the primary objective of Operation Shiva, initiated by the Indian Army in 2025? Correct answer, to ensure the safe and smooth conduct of the Amarnath Yatra pilgrimage. Question 27. What is the primary objective of the Sanchar Mitra scheme, launched by the Department of Telecommunications, in 2025? Correct answer, to engage students as digital ambassadors for telecom awareness. Question 28. Who among the following was nominated by President Draupadi Murmu to the Rajya Sabha in July 2025 for their contributions to diplomacy and foreign policy? Correct answer, Harshvardhan Shringla. Question 29. Who won the men's singles title at Wimbledon 2025? Correct answer, Jannik Sinner. Question 30. Who won the women's singles title at Wimbledon 2025? Correct answer, Iga Swiatek. Question 31. When is National Broadcasting Day observed in India? Correct answer, July 23. Question 32. Who is the current Prime Minister of Lesotho as of July 2025? Correct answer, Sam Matekane. Question 33. Who has recently been appointed as the Chief Justice of the Jharkhand High Court in July 2025? Correct answer, Justice Terlok Singh Chauhan. Question 34. Which country is confirmed to host the FIDE Chess World Cup 2025, and what is its significance for Indian chess? Correct answer, India, first major chess event since 2022. Question 35. What significant electoral reform has Bihar implemented for its polling stations ahead of the 2025 assembly elections? Correct answer, first state to ensure polling stations have less than 1,200 electors. Question 36. Who was appointed as the Managing Director and CEO of LIC effective July 15, 2025? Correct answer, R. Doraiswamy. Question 37. What was the significance of July 15, 2025, in the context of global youth skill development? Correct answer, it was the 10th anniversary of World Youth Skills Day. Question 38. Which organization was awarded the hosting rights for the WTC finals in 2027, 2029, and 2031? Correct answer, England and Wales Cricket Board, ECW. Question 39. Which country did the IMF identify as the new global leader in real-time digital payments, based on UPI's performance in June 2025? Correct answer, India. Question 40. What is the primary purpose of the NISAR mission? Correct answer, monitor Earth's surface for climate, disaster, and resource management. Question 41. Who are the key collaborators in the NISAR mission? Correct answer, ISRO and NASA. Question 42. Which city shared the top spot with Indore in Swachh Sarvekshan 2024-25? Correct answer, Surat. Question 43. Which body conducts the Swachh Sarvekshan survey? Correct answer, Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Question 44. When is World Mangrove Day observed every year to raise awareness about the importance of mangrove ecosystems? Correct answer, July 26. Question 45. What is the primary objective of the proposed Free Trade Agreement, FTA, between India and the United Kingdom? Correct answer, to reduce tariffs and boost bilateral trade. Question 46. Which MP received a special award for consistent and outstanding performance in the Sansad Ratna Awards 2025? Correct answer, Supriya Sule. Question 47. Which two parliamentary standing committees were honored in the Sansad Ratna Awards 2025? Correct answer, Finance and Agriculture. Question 48. Which organizations jointly developed the Nahid-2 satellite? Correct answer, Iranian Space Research Center, ISRC, and Iranian Space Agency, ISA. Question 49. What is the primary mission objective of Nahid-2? Correct answer, telecommunication services in testing indigenous subsystems. Question 50. Who is the world's most popular democratic leader as per Morning Consult in July 2025? Correct answer, Narendra Modi. Question 51. Who recently became the first Indian woman to win the FIDE Women's World Cup 2025? Correct answer, Divya Deshmukh. Question 52. Tejaswin Shankar recently broke his own national decathlon record by scoring 7,826 points. At which international meet did this performance take place? Correct answer, Wisław Zapiewski Memorial, Poland. Question 53. How many total medals did India win at the FISU World University Games 2025 held in Germany? Correct answer, 12. Question 54. Audrey Cruz recently became the first female to receive Neuralink's brain chip implant. What milestone did she achieve after the successful surgery? Correct answer, she used her thoughts to control a computer and draw. Question 55. What was the primary objective of Operation Mahadev, recently conducted in Jammu or Kashmir in July 2025? Correct answer, neutralize the Pahalgam attack mastermind. Question 56. What is the key reason cited by Tata Consultancy Services, TCS, for initiating its largest ever layoffs involving over 12,000 employees in 2025? Correct answer, skill mismatch amid changing project needs. Question 57. In 2025, the Maratha military landscapes were inscribed in the UNESCO World Heritage List. With this addition, what is India's total number of World Heritage Sites is recognized by UNESCO? Correct answer, 44. Question 58. What is the primary historical significance of the recently recognized Maratha military landscapes? Correct answer, examples of Maratha military planning and hill fort architecture. Question 59. What is the primary goal of the newly launched National Sports Policy 2025 approved by the Union Cabinet in July 2025? Correct answer, to position India among the top 5 sporting nations by 2047 and bid for the 2036 Olympics. Question 60. According to the World Bank's Spring 2025 Poverty and Equity Brief, which country has been ranked 4th most income equal society in the world based on the Gini Index? Correct answer, India. Thanks for watching. अगर वीडियो पसंद आया हो तो लाइक और सब्सक्राइब करें.